My first thought was just like shutting myself down and going like, even God wouldn't forgive me for like not fighting hard enough to get him off.
A female soldier struggles to describe the trauma she endured in the Nevada National Guard. When we first reported her case in May of 2021, she asked us to protect her identity as she detailed claims about a master sergeant, a man she initially looked up to as a mentor, until things took a dark turn.
And forcing me to touch him in like inappropriate places and like touching me without my permission.
She says his behavior escalated to assault multiple times in remote northern Nevada locations. With the power dynamic of him being nearly twice her age and several ranks her senior, she says she felt trapped and forced to comply with his advances.
And he took away the knife that he gave me for protection and like whispered, "You won't be needing this."
When she finally made the decision to report him in the fall of 2019, she went to leadership in her chain of command.
He basically told me that I wasn't reporting to law enforcement or the SARC, and I had to go meet with him. And when I did, he told me that was consensual.
She says that began a journey of intimidation and retaliation so severe that she was driven to the breaking point.
And so I went to the spot where I was first sexually assaulted by my assailant, and I was going to shoot myself. But the gun wasn't there that day, and that's the only reason I'm here.
She's also here now, revealing her identity for the first time as Senior Airman Elizabeth Smith.
Because command did not take me seriously, another service member is not with us today. So obviously they did not do what they should have.
And does that speak to why you're coming forward and revealing your identity? Or what contributed to you making that decision?
So listening to Allison Bailey's story, I felt like I was just reading my story all over again.
As 13 Investigates reported, Allison Bailey's story includes claims of retaliation surrounding her reports of sexual assault by a fellow Guardsman. Allison went from model soldier to being kicked out of the military over multiple allegations of misconduct on her part. She died from organ failure due to multiple health issues 6 weeks after she was discharged.
By the military's own numbers, they report that 64% of service members who report a sexual assault are being retaliated against.
Attorney and Army veteran Lindsay Knapp created a group called Combat Sexual Assault. It provides healing services to nearly 1,000 service members and legal help for about 100 clients, including Elizabeth.
She reported that she was sexually assaulted by somebody who outranked her significantly and was her supervisor, no less.
Elizabeth took her allegations to Reno police in November 2019.
She was able to get a civilian protective order where the judge checked the box for sexual assault as the basis.
The Nevada National Guard issued a military protective order against the master sergeant and initially kept the two separated. Reno police ended up closing the case, telling 13 Investigates in 2021 they couldn't find probable cause to file any charges. According to documents from a Reno police report, the master sergeant told a detective the two had an intimate relationship lasting about 6 months, but it was consensual. He stated that there was no rape, no coercion, and rank was not a part of it. The Guard also asked the Office of Complex Investigations to review the case, but that office declined, citing the extensive Reno police investigation. In this statement to 13 Investigates, the Nevada Guard wrote, the Reno Police Department conducted an extensive investigation that led to the drafting of a 633-page report.
What they're trying to do is demonstrate or attempt to demonstrate to the American public that they did a fantastic investigation and that they were so thorough.
But Knapp confirms what 13 Investigates discovered after we obtained the report. Nearly half of those 633 pages are duplicates. And here's the kicker. The 253 duplicate pages are location photos, screenshots of banking activity and social media posts, and email threads, nearly all of it collected by Elizabeth and handed over to Reno PD. As Knapp explains, the bulk of the report is made up of her client's own investigation, and she takes issue with the Nevada Guard citing that as thorough police work.
They should be ashamed of themselves, and the American public should see them for exactly what they're doing, and that is misleading them and gaslighting survivors of sexual violence.
When we specifically asked the Guard why they repeatedly cited the report as 633 pages when nearly half was duplicated, they avoided the question, referring us to Reno police instead. In 2021, the Guard told us the Master Sergeant Elizabeth accused received an other than honorable discharge from the military, but the reasons for that were adultery and fraternization. Knapp says that means the Guard effectively took his word over Elizabeth's that the sexual activity was consensual. Elizabeth remained in the Guard.
And that was more scary than the rape itself. Because a rape, you know it's going to end eventually. But the retaliation, you never know when that's going to end. And there's nobody on your side who's able to stop it.
The Nevada Guard has repeatedly told us they properly followed all procedures in Elizabeth's case, and they say the Guard continues to make efforts to protect all service members. But one former insider says the rhetoric does not match the reality. That and more when our story continues tomorrow on Channel 13 News at 6. Darcy Spears, 13 Investigates.